Yo, what's up guys, this is Team from Team Black Hole, and today I have for you a Sky Striker deck profile. This deck was piloted by my friend Viki at the Back to Duel tournament, and he got 5th place out of 53 people. Congratulations Viki on your top. Good job, man. So, for the matchups, he played against Prank Kids, which was a tie. He played against Virtual World, which was a win for him. He played against another Virtual World player, which was a tie again. He played against Sky Striker and he won the mirror. My man Viki been grinding those strikers ever since they came out, man. He knows the matchup in and out. And then he played against two Dogmatica Invoke Shadow and he won both of those games. So really good score overall. Now let's jump into the deck profile. So for the monsters, Viki decided to play 3 Sky Striker Ace Raye, the bread and butter of the Sky Striker deck in terms of monsters at least. You can use this card to link summon, it has the quick effect to special summon a link monster from the extra deck, and when that link monster is destroyed, it brings itself back from the graveyard. All in all, an insanely good card. Next, Viki decided to play 1 Sky Striker Ace Rose. This is a bit different from most of the other decks that I've seen, because most of the other decks play 2 Rose. I think Viki only plays 1 because he only has 1, and yeah, that's basically it, man. Rose is pretty good. It's not as good as Raye, but it helps you link climb, and Rose has a non-targeting effect negation, so it can get rid of Dragoon in a way, if you know what I mean. For the hand traps, we have 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, a staple hand trap, nothing more to say here. It's really good, it's always been good, and that's why Viki plays it. 3 Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. I talked about this card in my Tri-Brigade deck profile. This card is really good, it checks a lot of things. Most importantly, it checks Tri-Brigade Revolt. That itself is amazing, because basically Revolt is the win condition of the Tri-Brigade deck, right? So if you have a way to stop that, the deck won't be able to plus, it won't be able to recur its resources, and basically just falls apart. So that's why Ghost Bell is really good. Triple Effect Veiler, it checks Prank Kids a bit, it checks Tri-Brigade because all of the link summoning effects happen on field. And yeah, Effect Veiler is also pretty good against some like roguish stuff. It also checks Anaconda in the Drytron matchup if they're playing the Dragoon package. Next up we have Skullmeister. This card is really good, but keep it on the down low. Nah, I'm just kidding. This card is really good. It stops all the Tri-Brigade effects in graveyard. It stops the Prank Kids effects in graveyard. Man, this card is gaining popularity quickly, and if you don't have your copies, you can get your rares from Ancient Guardians. They don't cost that much. It's a really good card to have in general, so definitely pick these cards up. For the spells, we have D1 Reinforcement of the Army. This card gets you to your Raye, it gets you to your Rose if need be, and it gets a spell in your graveyard. It's a power spell, it's really good. Triple Pot of Desires, consistency is always good, and again, it gets a spell in your graveyard. One of my favorite packages in the entire game to play, 1 Foolish Goods and the Metal Foes Fusion. I love this package like a lot, I like the way it plays. I specifically like it in Virtual World as well, right? Because you can play Goods and the Metal Foes Fusion, and then if you have all your consistency cards and your suture cards like Qinglong and whatever, you can just dump the Fusion to get an extra draw. But if you don't have like the starters or whatever, you can Foolish Burial Goods, dump the Qinglong, search, and then get your plays going, so that's really good. But of course in Striker it's probably the best because it gets 2 spells in your graveyard, and then before your turn ends you can get a bonus card from Metal Foes Fusion. Speaking of bonus card, we have Mobilize Engage. Do I have to say anything about Engage? This card is nuts. It searches your Sky Striker cards, and when you have 3 or more spells in graveyard, you get a bonus card. It's really good. It's basically the main centerpiece of the deck. It's also your win con in a sense, so yeah. Probably if it was at more, people would play it at more, but it's at 1. And it shouldn't move from 1. It shouldn't have moved from 0 to begin with. Next up we have Terraforming to get to your field spell. Also another power 1-off. I might have skipped over Upstart Goblin, I don't remember. We have Upstart as well, you know, Spell Engrave plus bonus card. This deck is all about bonus cards. And we have Sky Striker Maneuver Afterburners. This card is monster removal and spell and trap card removal. It's really good because if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you just get to pop something. And that's really good, right? Because your opponent cannot respond to the destruction of a spell and trap card because the effect is already happening. Shared Ride is a tech choice. It's really good against the mirror match, and it comes up against some other decks, maybe more a bit of Rogue. A Drytron adds a lot of cards from deck to graveyard, so you can activate it there, get some bonus cards. And maybe even against the Tri-Brigade matchup, it could come up. Otherwise, these are just 3 slots to put something from the side deck in. We have Eagle Booster to protect your Kagari, to protect your Shizuku. 2 Shark Cannon, I guess. I've seen a lot of 2 Shark Cannon. I like 3, but I guess it depends on the meta and the decks you're playing against. DD Crow, it's a good card, you know? And the ability to be able to special summon a monster is also pretty nuts. It helps you link climb and maybe get to the spicy OTK. Another power one-off is Hornet Drones. It gets you to your link monsters without actually having a monster in your hand, which is pretty good. The triple Widow Anchor standard, it's effect negation. You can also steal the monster, you know, use it to link climb or whatnot. But it's a really good card. It's a staple at 3. It's gonna be staple at 3, I think. And it's nothing new, man. It's a good card. Multi-roll, another power one-off. The ability to recur resources is insane, especially in Striker, being able to, like, loop your anchors, loop your engages, maybe shark cannons, basically whatever you want is nuts. It also helps you accomplish the Shizuku Shuffle, so having access to that 1 Widow Anchor when your hand is not that great is pretty good. And for the last 2 spell cards, we have Sky Striker Airspace Area 0. This helps you dig for your monsters. This summons the monster from your deck. For the link monsters, we have triple Kagari, get your engage back. Triple Hayate, dump your engage. Triple Shizuku. Shizuku gets Widow Anchor most of the time, but she also gets engaged. 1 Kaina for end of match procedures. 1 Sky Striker Ace Zeke, the newest edition. It comes up, I guess, when you, like, if you widow your opponent's monster and then you, like, to get rid of it so you have no monsters in the main monster zone, you can just make Zeke, because it only needs 1 Sky Striker monster. Kira, I would assume for the Salamangreat matchup, or just in general if your opponent Ash Blossoms you. We have Nightmare Phoenix, which I guess you can bring off of Hita, so that's good. 1 Ingirsu, just a good removal in general, you know, discard Outs Dragoon. And Access Code Talker for the spicy OTK. I mean, it's not spicy, it's pretty standard. And then the last thing we're gonna look at is the side deck. We have triple Nibiru, the Primal Being. This card is really good against Salamangreat. It's good against random rogue decks. Sometimes it hurts Drytron, and if the Tri-Brigade player overextends, it can be good against that deck as well. We have triple Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. I guess this is here for Arrival Cybers at Ignister, maybe for those random pesky Dragoons, or like some Floodgate cards. 1 Pankratops, because Pankratops is insane. You run over something, you pop something, you get rid of 2 cards with 1 card and you didn't even commit your normal summon. This card is at 1, if it would be at more, people would play it at more, 100%. 2 MST for the back row removal, and 3 Cosmic Cyclone. You know, gotta get rid of that back row, gotta get rid of those Imperial Orders and such, right? Because this deck dies against Imperial Order and against Anti-Spell Fragrance. And the next card we have is Different Dimension Ground. This card is really good, actually. A lot of decks rely on having stuff in the graveyards, like Drytron, Tri-Brigade, Phantom Knights if you play against them, even Dragon Link to some extent. Being able to Macrocosmos your opponent for 1 turn is pretty good, right? Because you basically shut them down. All in all, a very solid deck list. Congratulations to Viki again. Good job, man. He did have some notes. So he said if he would have the option, he would play the Needle Fiber Selene package because it's easier to OTK, even though he was able to OTK just fine with this. If he plays Striker in the future, he will probably incorporate the Needle Fiber package, and if you're gonna play the deck, you should probably try to incorporate it as well, since it makes the OTK a bit easier and you don't have to rely on going into Phoenix and then into Hita to, you know, get that link for. That's it for the deck profile, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. Share this video around, leave a comment. Let's get some deck theory going. What do you think about the deck? Also, stay tuned because the next deck profile got a top and it's pretty spicy. It starts with black and ends with wings. So don't miss it. I'll see you later, guys. Peace.